Tomorrow night, the Utah Legislature will meet in a special session to debate and possibly vote on tax reform.
And what they decide will impact every person in our state.
KSL investigator Brittany Glass joins us right now. Brittany, you've been crunching the numbers to see exactly what this current proposal could mean for a lot of us.
That's exactly right. We spent the day reading line by line and fact-checking the idea that most Utahns will see a sizable tax cut. The proposal is 199 pages long. It's a lot to digest, which is why many groups are saying this legislation is moving too fast.
In a tweet today, Utah House Speaker Brad Wilson lays it out. What does tax reform mean for you? Check out the below graph. The chart shows what seems like good savings for Utahns. Tax cuts across the board, with the biggest break for middle-class families with lots of kids. It's the result of the Tax Restructuring and Equalization Task Force created by the legislature earlier this year to research and recommend tax changes. According to an October 2019 report from Utah Foundation, Utahns have been paying less in taxes for the last several years, particularly in sales tax. That means less money for the state to pay for things like repairing and expanding roads. And that's where the reform comes in.
This reform is particularly complicated because we're changing so many levers at once.
The proposal would cut overall income tax. That's not just for individuals and families, but also corporations. But other taxes, including sales tax, would go up. Food, which is currently taxed at 1.75%, would jump to 4.85%. You'd also be taxed every time you use a rideshare company, on your dry cleaning, your car wash, your ticket to the college sports game, streaming services, everything from audiobooks to video games, boarding and grooming your pet, and your home alarm system.
But unless you're an accountant, making sense of the changes can be hard to understand. So we sat down with the experts to get a better idea of what all this means for you.
On average, people will probably pay a little bit less, but people will be paying very differently.
Christopher Collard is a research analyst at Utah Foundation. He deals with taxes and policy every day. To help us get a practical look at the tax reform, we gave him some parameters. Compare a family of 4 in 3 different income levels and budget in how much the USDA estimates they spend on food. Here's how he calculated the changes. This family is at the poverty line, making just shy of $26,000 per year.
A lot of these people won't see a whole lot of additional benefit.
They'll spend $342 a month on food. They'll save about $33 a year on their income taxes, but end up paying $199 in tax on their groceries every year. Because they are eligible for a $125 annual food tax credit, the total savings for this family, $31.13. This family is the median income for Utah, making $65,325 a year.
As for middle-income families, most of them will see overall a net benefit.
We estimated they pay $727 a month on food. Income taxes for them drop $424.66. But wow, they're paying $423.11 every year in food tax. They make too much for the food tax credit, so overall, they'd save $154.22 a year. And this family is doing well, making $168,000 per year.
High-income earners will see some of the largest benefit.
Their income taxes will drop $722.42 a year, and they eat well, too, spending more than $1,100 every month on food. That means they'd now pay $647.18 in food taxes. Final total means their tax burden lowers by $308.75. There are lots of exceptions. One we found was for single people. Unless you're making more than $163,000 a year, there aren't many savings to be had for individuals.
These tax changes largely benefit those with larger incomes and those with larger families.
Meaning those who benefit the least will likely be smaller families and individuals with lower incomes.
There is a lot happening in this bill, but the big proposed changes are on sales tax, income tax, and new fuel taxes. For more information on these and to see our math, just click on the story page on KSLTV.com.
Brittany, one of the most concerning parts of this whole discussion on tax reform is how it will impact education.
That's exactly right. That's because K through 12 education in our state is supported entirely through the income tax. Now, Heidi Matthews is the president of the Utah Education Association. The association says the tax plan includes an income tax cut of $650 million that would directly impact Utah schools. Matthews says Utah should fund education with a significant investment in students and their future. This reform, they believe, doesn't do that.
It gives an IOU, and that is just not enough for us to bank on going into the general session.
What's the rush?
The rush is it's an election year. And the rush is too complicated for most people to really understand.
The 2020 legislative session is scheduled to begin in just about 6 weeks.
Yeah, interesting. Good breakdown of the numbers there. Helps you understand really how this affects all of us at all levels.
And it's complicated.
Yeah, it is. It's not easy. Well, thank you. Well done.